Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joe here. Thanks for visiting my channel again. And today I want to go over a pretty simple recipe that I like, especially after like a workout or, say a day that I'm not feeling too energetic and, those vitamins or nutrients or my nutritional shakes are not doing the thing. Specifically if you're lacking certain aspects of your diet, let's say for example folate or protein or fatty acids, I find that this recipe is great because it combines both worlds of meats and as well some vegetables. And basically the recipe is stuffed bell peppers, but I'm usually this recipe it has ground beef and rice and some herbs or seasoning, but I wanted to switch it up a bit because I find that sometimes the ground beef that you get isn't, it's mixed with a lot of fat. Maybe it's not really grass-fed or more farm-raised meat. So I find that sometimes ground beef especially causes me discomfort. And with my condition, I've been candida sufferer for at least for the last 5 years, but I've been able to cope with fighting this chronic infection with diet, because I realized that a lot of the food that I eat or was eating throughout my life was causing me to get sick, and I had to pinpoint the quality and quantity as well of the kind of food that I'm eating. So in this recipe, it's I find that it may not intrigue a lot of people because it's going to have, instead of ground beef, I'm going to include some tender loin or strip loin beef, as well as chicken livers with the mix of basmati rice and seasoning. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a twist and we'll see the results. So follow along and make sure that you subscribe on our channel so you can get any new updates, and thanks for your support. So I'm going to start off the recipe with 4 depitted bell peppers, about 1.5 to 2 cups of chopped green spinach, preferably organic. I have about 1.5 cups of chicken livers, fresh chicken livers from a local butcher. Preferably, if you know the source of the chickens, like if they're free range, that would be beneficial. Definitely you don't want to get like supermarket chicken livers, in my opinion. Really, you don't want to get mechanically processed and factory raised chicken livers. But so far I've been choosing these livers from a local butcher, like from an Arabic store, and I haven't had any issues. Usually I know right away if I have a problem with the meat. My stomach starts to rumble, and I hear rumbling. I feel discomfort about 6 to 12 hours after consuming the meat. So my body is now, after my several years of detox, has adapted to know what foods cause a reaction or not. I have certain key indicators that I look for when I consume food to see if it's causing a reaction or not. So basically with these chicken livers, I haven't had an issue with them so far, and I find that the taste is better than if you buy a beef liver or lamb liver. Usually the beef and lamb liver have sort of a stronger odor, or not really odor, but more of a harsher taste. Here, chicken livers, they have a very smooth texture and taste. I like them with my breakfast, but in this recipe I decided to try chicken livers as opposed to ground beef. And chicken livers are very high in omega-3 fatty acids. They're considered a superfood, different type of activated vitamin A that we see in meat. Here I have again an inside round steak, again from a local butcher. It's not certified organic. I'm going to try it out, just to give it a different little texture and taste to the stuffed bell peppers. Have them chopped. Now, It's up to you if you want to mince them further. I want to keep them in larger chunks. I like chewing on the pieces of meat, so I kept them a little bit larger chunks. Here I have 2 cups of basmati rice. Preferably you want to get a very good brand or good quality basmati rice. Tilda is very expensive, so apparently that's like the best brand in the market, but I think if you go to any like local grocery, or even if you go to like more special groceries like Indian grocers or Pakistani or even Middle Eastern, you can find very high quality basmati rice. I usually try to get either from the Persian rice or from India. You want to get a longer grain basmati rice, and a good indicator to see if the rice is a good quality basmati rice. You'll see that when you cook the rice, the grains, if you follow the instructions, become a little larger. So you want to see a large separated grains when large and thinner separated grains when you're cooking the basmati rice. Here I have half a cup of full fat yogurt, so probiotic yogurt. And again, you can make this decision whether or not you want to add yogurt or not. I decided to add some yogurt because to give it some texture, and also to complement the spinach. So spinach complements very well when it's mixed with yogurt. So I'll try to add, just for some extra nutrition aspects, we're going to be adding yogurt. So half a cup of full fat yogurt. It's up to you if you want to, what brand you want to get, but like usually I try to get, again, certified organic brands. But this one here is actually, again, from a local grocer, and has, I think, 4 or 5 strains of probiotic. Most of the probiotic, I'm assuming that it would be, denatured or. Here I have a half cup of certified organic oats, and these are fast cooking oats that, again, looking for the nutritional aspect of adding an extra, component there for the vitamin B's and also iron. Now I have some 100% pure cold pressed olive oil from imported from Italy. So I get this from Costco. It's called Il Grezzo. I like the taste a lot. It's not too overwhelming. At the same time, you can see that it's pretty turbid near the bottom, which is what I want to look for, because that would retain most of the nutrients in the olive. So I'll include that. Another oil that I'm going to be adding is a pure sesame seed oil. So this is from Lee Kum Ki, pure sesame seed oil, and I'm going to be adding about 1 tablespoon of all sesame oil, again for flavor, and just to add for the overall nutritional impact for this meal. I'm going to be adding for flavor, for our seasoning, thyme. As well, I'm going to be adding turmeric, pink Himalayan salt, coarse grade, powdered garlic. Now you can, if you want, you can use fresh garlic. I'm just out of fresh garlic now. I'm trying to improvise with what I have at home at this moment and create this meal. And just to sort of highlight that you can make a lot of nice, fully nutrient balanced and nutrient surged foods from home with even your leftover products. So like with things that you purchase from the grocery and may have forgotten about it over a couple of weeks, you can make a lot of nice nutrient dense food that you can take to work, you can take to school. It's going to help you with being more aware at work, more energetic. At the same time, if you're at school, it's going to help you boost your grades up because you're improving the lack of nutrients that we are being not including in our diet. We're lacking a lot of essential nutrients on a daily basis. So especially school students, for university and high school, you see a lot of students just consuming chips or like say a hot dog or a burger. Really, they're missing out on a lot of essential nutrients. And I find that with just a little bit of preparation, so far I've been making this video as well as preparing, and it's maybe spent half an hour just with the ingredients I have available to prepare this meal. And I think this is going to be a great idea for a lot of students to start being introduced to the healthy alternative nutrition lifestyle, to make them more aware of themselves, aware of their bodies, aware of their minds, and help them overall in life. So we're going to go ahead and add in our meat. This is the liver. Next thing comes in the rice. So we're going to be adding our rice. The 2 cups of rice. And I'm going to add in my oats. And the aid of like a spoon, or if you want, you can use, I'm just going to give that a quick mix. Next, then I'm going to be adding my spices, my seasoning. So I'm going to add about, this is approximately 1.5 tablespoon of the powdered garlic, turmeric. So I'm going to add turmeric now. Again, approximately 1 tablespoon of turmeric. My thyme, again 1 tablespoon of thyme. Again, I like the flavor of the spices, and this is going to be great. Then I'm going to be adding my salt. I'm also going to be including some black pepper. I know I didn't show this initially, but I like some black lemon pepper into the meat. I like the taste of it. So I'm going to be adding some black lemon pepper, approximately again about 3/4 of a tablespoon. This is a very nice pepper. It's lemon, and it's imported from Iran. You can probably see it from, purchase it from any Arabic or Persian grocery store nearby your home. And finally, I'm going to be adding about 1/4 of a teaspoon of coarse, quarter of a tablespoon of coarse pink sea salt. I'm going to continue with the mixture now. So I'll mix all my seasoning and my ingredients. So now to include all of the seasoning gives me the excellent flavors that we want to feel and taste. Next, I'm going to add in my yogurt after I mix the rice, oats, and the meats. So add my yogurt, and then I'm going to give that another mix. Comes in my spinach. So I'm just going to be adding my spinach little by little, and as I mix it, it's going to, the spinach is going to start to mix in with the meats, and it's going to take up some space. But supermarkets now, they have a food section, and they'll sell you food, but it's going to be definitely cheaper than buying from a restaurant. But if you really want to save on your buck, and save on the costs, as well have more command of what goes into your food. Finally, I'm going to be adding about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Again, this is the olive oil Il Grezzo from Costco. We'll stir it around. So now our mixture is ready. It's all mixed. We're going to take our bell peppers, place them into a Pyrex, and we can align them like this. So this Pyrex seems like it's a perfect size for these 4 bell peppers. So it seems like we have a lot of mix, but actually if you look at the volume, if you look at the volume inside of these bell peppers, it's pretty, it's a bigger size than usual. So you don't want them to be too overcooked, because what will happen, they'll shrink and you won't get really a nice texture. You want to be able to try to keep the bell peppers intact, and at the same time you want your meat and your stuffing to be fully cooked. So again, it's very important to maintain that your meat is fully cooked. Now I have the bell peppers ready. They're all been stuffed, and actually I used up all of the stuffing, so I was able to add up the top there, and this is great. So I didn't have to have any leftovers. So I have 4 stuffed bell peppers. I'm going to be putting them in the oven at 350. So I'm just going to add some olive oil, just a little bit on top like this, and in the bottom of the Pyrex. And then I'm going to place them in the oven at 350 degrees. Oh, it's a little bit heavy. Actually, we'll just put them here for now. And you're going to leave that in for 45 minutes to an hour. Okay guys, so after 45 minutes I've taken the roasted peppers from the oven. They're ready to go for for lunch. And what you can do here is, if you want to make these sort of like in bulk for your work or for your school, what I would recommend is that when you take them out of the oven, let them rest for at least 30-40 minutes so that they cool down, and then you can freeze them so for a longer period of time, or you can pack them in the fridge. They should be good for 2 to 3 days in the fridge, but in the freezer, if you want, you can freeze them, and when you feel like having this for dinner or for a snack, you can just take it from the freezer, thaw it out or defrost it, and then if you want to heat up in the microwave, not really recommended, but it's totally up to you. You can also use the oven, but I'm going to be including some nutrient content for per bell pepper, stuffed bell pepper, and I'll be adding it to the video here. So, and I'll include in the description. So, bon appetit. Thank you very much.